Well, hey guys, what's up? What's going on out there this afternoon? It's Brent Abel here, WebTennis.com. Another episode of Tennis Mindset Training. Tennis mental toughness. There's got to be some other keywords, searchable keywords, phrases out there that kind of zero in on what we work on every afternoon, Pacific Coast or Pacific time zone, 2:30 in the afternoon. And yeah, we're going to do some maybe even a little tough love today, which is kind of my thing. I kind of like to do that. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we got a lot of rain out here in Southern California, which we always need rain in the state of California, but no tennis. So nice workout in the gym around midday today. Had a really solid gusher, is what I call it, because I love to get in the bike, stationary bike. I get the TV going, got Tennis Channel on there, got who was on there today? Was it Chris Eubanks? I can't remember. Anyway, got it right there. I go through my 30-minute stationary bike deal, and then I've got a cable weight machine. All the stuff is really designed for kind of flexible strength for tennis. And so look, if you want to hit me up with any questions about a tennis fitness specific for tennis, not just, hey, if you want to get in great shape, go out there and run 30 miles. No, that stuff doesn't work. But I'm happy to, I've got a little program, happy to show you what it is that I do. And that, and plus, if you need to drop some weight as well, yeah, I mean, what just makes no sense, right? Kind of carrying around baggage of weight there as we're playing, that makes zero sense. We got to get rid of that. So I can help you with that as well, too. A lot of that's just mindset. It really is. Okay, guys. So look, what we've got today is, the title is Mental Stress in Matches equals Physical Stress equals Injuries. And so, look, before we get into that, let me do this. And there we go. Yeah. So if you love what we're doing here, love what I'm doing here, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And so you're alerted every time I go live and or upload a new comment. And look, practice, right? We got to get out there. We got to sweat. We got to get a gusher going. We got to work out. Here's the way to do it, right? I've got, I don't know how many different styles, 5 or 6 different styles of practice shirts. They're just t-shirts, but I love them. They're super soft. They fit great, breathe well. So go on over webtennis.gear, pick one up, and that would be cool. Guys, every morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, I go live, sometimes a pre-recorded version of, or I should say episode of What's the Right Shot. 2 premises that I talk about every day. Number 1, shot choice. Where do you want to land over there? And then number 2, how do you want to enhance that shot choice by where you move to next on the court? I think today we did episode number 355. Wowza. Yeah, we're slowly but surely getting close to 400. We'll have a little party at 400. And then every afternoon, 2:30 p.m. Pacific, we do some tennis mindset training. So look, players ask me a lot, and this used to be kind of an issue for me. They would say, I play so much better in practice than I do in matches. And I found the same thing too. I found that I could practice with, I remember some guys when I first really got serious in my sort of mid 20s. I played a little bit of tennis as a kid, played a lot more baseball as a kid, but played some tennis. And then when I got serious about tennis in my mid 20s, I started getting pretty good. Remember this one guy, Bill Staggy. I was at Berkeley Tennis Club. Bill and I played a couple times a week. He was already a good player, and he was nice enough to play with me. And over the course of about 6 months, I got pretty close to where now I was starting to maybe take a set off the guy, every so often. But we would play close, and it was just it was cool. It was easy, right? And then one weekend on a Tuesday, I asked him, I say, Bill, so what do you got going this weekend? He says, well, I got a tournament. I said, a tournament, what's that? And he says, oh, it's this. He described it to me. He says, you ought to play. And I said, he says, they're great. It's good for your game. I said, all right. So I looked at the calendar, and this is the back in the day, way before we had the internet, where, anyway, there was a schedule, picked it up, mailed in your card, all this kind of stuff. And so they mailed me back my time. And this was in Walnut Creek and the East Bay, further out from where I was in Berkeley. And the time said, all right, well, you play Saturday morning, 8 o'clock. So I show up Saturday morning, 8 o'clock at Heather Farms in Walnut Creek. And sure enough, I got to play my friend Bill Steggy in the first round. And I'm going, okay, I guess that's how it works sometimes, the luck of the draw. I go out there and I was just a nervous wreck. And I don't know why, other than the fact that it's not like we had the internet where it was made public, where everyone in the world could see the result. But there was a big draw sheet there where it had his name, it had my name, everyone else's names. And maybe that was just enough, or maybe it's the whole thing about going back to the Berkeley Tennis Club and someone's going to say, well, how'd you guys do in your match? And I was so nervous. I mean, it was ridiculous. I could barely hit a ball. I lost first set, 6-love in maybe 10 minutes. It was ridiculous. And I'm sitting there between sets, and he comes over and he goes, man, what is going on with you? What is the matter? And I just said, I got no idea, but I can't hit a ball. Well, sure enough, the second set took a little bit longer, but it was still 6-0. No, here's a guy that I've been practicing with for 6 months. I was finally close to the guy in practice matches. And, I mean, it was close. And once in a while, I'd take a set off the guy. Here I can play a tournament where it counted, where the results were made public. And, Mr. Nervous Nelly here loses love in, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes. And I just remember kind of getting back in the car, just looking in the mirror and going, dude, what are you going to do? I mean, this sucks. This is horrible. And so then, of course, I think I started cramping, right? And I just, like I don't know what it was, my foot or a calf or something like that, but started to cramp. And I'm going, you got to be kidding me. I mean, you just lost 0-0 in 40 minutes and you're cramping. Okay. Well, so the takeaway for me was, all right, I got to figure this thing out. Not only have I got to figure it out because I don't want to just decide, hey, I'm just going to be a player that never ever competes because I can't handle it mentally. And but I don't want to get into the situation again where now all of a sudden I go out there and I cramp, right? So here's the deal. What I've learned is that the difference between playing really well in practice and kind of sucking in the match is we have such little stress in the practice match. And for whatever reason, we just bring it on ourselves. We bring stress to the matches that count. And so when you do that, and look, I mean, this could be a practice match. This could be a big deal, someone that you really want to beat, some kind of your club or your facility. And, it's a Saturday afternoon. Everyone's up there in the deck watching you guys play, and you want this thing bad, right? And now it counts. And the next thing you know is you bring in a level of stress to that match that it just moves into your body. I mean, mentally it starts and then it gets into your body and it becomes physical. And that's when a lot of injuries happen, right? I mean, a lot of arm injuries happen, a lot of elbow injuries happen, a lot of wrist injuries happen because we get into these matches where we bring some stress and we just start squeezing the racket too tight. You might not even know it, might not hurt at the time, but the reality is I've never measured it, so I don't have any hard data on this, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did have some data one day that would show that what's the difference in grip pressure between a practice match that doesn't count for anything and you're way back out there in on court 9 or court 10 at your facility, as opposed to a match that does count. The results are going to be made public. It's a tournament. It's a league. Maybe out there like I said, the Saturday afternoon in front of all the fellas. I just believe that if we can measure it, that the grip pressure is way different from the practice match to the match that counts. So, and you got to be careful with that because I think that's when a lot of injuries happen is when we bring in, you can call it the death grip, but the death grip is so severe that obviously that's a problem. But I think that there's also a form of it where you don't really perceive it. You don't feel like it's going on, but it's different than what we do in a practice match. So here's what I finally came away with after I kind of thought about this for a long time. And I went through a few tournaments in that same year when I lost to Bill Steggy, love, is I still would get tight. And what I finally said, well, I don't know how to mentally fix this. Was it some kind of a little, childhood thing or who knows what? I said, I can't figure this out. But what one thing is that I'm going to do is I think I'm going to try to make sure that I practice. How do I or what's the feeling of having a nice relaxed grip? So being aware of it in practice, what does it feel like? Could I recreate that in a match that counts? Could I recreate that grip pressure less in a real match and actually go out and tinker with it and experiment with it and not really care in the first round or two of a tournament where I'm experimenting with this, not care about the result and just see what it's like. And so I started doing that. I started going out there in matches, and I started going out there and entering tournaments, and without any kind of expectation of winning, of just simply, I want to see if, because I've been feeling this in practice, I've been working on it in practice, I and now have a tangible idea, feeling of what grip pressure, what's too much, what's too little, and maybe what's just right. And so I would go out there and I entered a few tournaments and started feeling that. And the next thing I know is I'm starting to win some matches. And so look, if you're struggling at all with that situation where you play better in practice than you do in the real deal, I want you to go out there and I want you to lighten up. I want you to lighten up the grip pressure in practice, or at least be aware of what the feeling is, and then go over there, enter an event, or play a league thing, or get someone out there where you're going to play a practice match and you're going to put some kind of thing on it. Whoever wins today, the other guy's got to buy the first beer or whatever. There's got to be something riding on the match, and just see if you can't recreate that grip pressure, the right one. And I hate to use the word grip, not sure what the right term is, because sometimes when I say grip tension, grip pressure, it sort of connotates or conjures up this thing about squeezing. You don't want to squeeze. You really want to feel relaxed in the grip. You really want to be able to allow swing speed to come from a naturally relaxed grip tension, grip pressure. And when you do that, I think that you will start to transfer over to the real deal matches and start to play just as well in that arena as you do in practice. I've gotten to the point now where I play way, way better in matches, the real deal matches, than I do in practice. And it's only because I've just really got laser focus going on in the real deal matches. That doesn't create tension for me, as opposed to practice. Practice, I'm looking at practice as a lot more as sort of fitness opportunities. I just want to work hard. Just want to really just hustle. But in between points in practice, if there's a ball over in the corner, I might even sprint over there to get it. Just some goofy stuff, right? But so try that, and let me know if that resonates with you when you're out in the court. And then just get back to me. Just shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. And let me know. Let me know if that makes a difference for you. So one of the things that's helped me in the last 18 months, and I just got off a coaching call with a good player, Kevin, and we kind of talked about what's been the difference for me, at least one of the differences for me in the last 18 months. And it's been where I used to be quite a while ago. I used to be kind of a brat out there in the court. I was known to, back in the day, would I chuck a racket here and there? I would. Would I kind of scream and yell once in a while because I missed an easy ball and I was more embarrassed than anything? Yeah, I did. Did it help my game? No, it didn't. So, and look, I've had a good career up until about 18 months ago. Won 11 national titles in both singles and doubles. Damn good. I was happy with that. But I knew deep down inside that there was something more that I should be working on. And I tried to I would go out there for years and drill and drill and drill and get in the gym and do all that kind of stuff. It moved the needle a little bit, but not what it's done in the last 18 months, which has been mindset training. And so I highly encourage you to take a look at this course that I put together. It's 5 habits. I do them daily. Some of them, maybe 2 or 3 I do at home, and the other I do in the court when I'm on the court. But I went from 11, national titles, gold balls. And within 14 months, I'm at 20. So it's took me 40 to get 11, and it took me 40 years to get 11. It took me 14 months to get 9 to get to 20. Something made a difference there. And this is definitely the missing piece right here. So there is a link down below in the description area if you're on YouTube, webtennis.com/SLR, the number 5, habits. SLR standing for skill level range. We want a narrow one. We want to be able to play at the top of our skill level consistently. And when you do that, that's when you build confidence, and that's when you start to get some wins. And so, guys, that's it for me. Hope this has been helpful today. A little bit longer version today. Not sure why today was longer, but just felt like we got to talk about lightening up the grip. We got to talk about making sure that you're not bringing tension into matches that count that could cause some injuries. The last thing I want to see from you is where you've created an injury. Could be anything that sidelined you, and now you're just sitting, like I said, in the sidelines watching and waiting to come back in. No bueno. Guys, look, any questions down below, let me know in the comments area. Any comments, any questions, remarks, feedback, or if you want to keep it private, just shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. It's time. Oh, yeah, baby. We got to get out there today. We got to help someone else. Have a great day, guys. See you again next time.